if I have Falana Olisa Agbakobo, Mike Ozekome in the Supreme Court, I can go to sleep, Bishop Kuka. Bishop Matthew Kuka, Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Sokoto State, said that if he has Femi Falana, Olisa Agbakoba, Mike Ozekome in the Supreme Court, he can go to sleep. He made this statement when he was giving his speech at the Are Afe Babalola 80 years at the bar, when he was talking about the power of president and how they can do good if they want to. Bishop Kuka began by saying that the president has enormous powers, but the question is, what do you use these powers for? He said we have the opportunity now to rebuild our country, and that no matter what happens in the Supreme Court end, he's convinced that we can put the ugly past behind us. Nigeria's past is not ugly. It just keeps getting uglier. And there's nothing about putting anything in the past because why? When things continue as they are, it reminds you of the past and the fact that nothing has changed. So whatever the outcome is basically saying, let's be peaceful. It's the same, rhetoric every single time. And I'm like, okay, nice, I get it. You yourself, you're of the Christian faith. This is what you preach. I get it. But if that's what you're going to be saying most of the times, please leave the conversation at that. And I respectfully just don't engage, because if you want to live in a country where there's no accountability and you have leaders messing around every single time with every change of administration, and you want that and you want to look past it maybe because you are comfortable, then maybe that's fine for you. But please don't then indoctrinate other people to think the same, where, you know what, whatever it is, we just have to be peaceful and put our ugly past behind. What ugly past? Is the future looking beautiful? That's the only way we can, consider what this man is saying. So it's like, what's the point in stating the obvious so many times again and again and again? Like, how many times would you tell somebody, it's not about your power, but how you use it, blah, blah, blah. Like, really? If these people need to change Nigeria, I don't think it would, it's not like it's something that is a concept that is so unreachable and so far-fetched that they can't do anything about it. It's just, they choose not to. Yeah. Because the leaders that go there are already small-minded, already myopic, already insecure, are already hungry, greedy, so many things, and most importantly, in their level of thinking, very small-minded, and and they lack innovation. They lack so many things. So whatever they are in power is just amplified. It's not necessarily doing the right thing, because if they're going about their normal lives, they probably will still be the same kind of individuals, maybe less, but just on a smaller scale. So the impact would not be as big as when they have these bigger positions. But regardless, this notion of whatever is happening in the past, let's just put it behind us, blah blah blah. Please, this it's very triggering. So he continues and he says, he said when people criticize the Supreme Court, he said, you ought to understand that sometimes, as the saying goes, don't throw a stone in the market until you're sure your mother didn't go to the market that day. If I have Femi Falana in the Supreme Court, Olisa Agbakoba, and Mike Ozekome, I can go to sleep. There are certain people that their presence may not solve the problem, but it creates a sense of affirmation. What kind of talk is this? I don't understand. You think affirmation is what we need? And I think this is where it shows the root of our sentimentalism, if that's even a word. Like, you just want to be affirmed. We want solutions, we want results, we want change. Not, okay, because you are there, okay, at least you are there. Huh? If you're there and you don't get the job done, then hello. So it's a bit like, I really don't understand. And this whole nonsense of your, throwing stones on the market, make sure your mom is not there. What does that actually mean? that because you're holding people accountable and because it's your mom, you can't hold her accountable because you are close to her because she's your mom? Excuse me? So I think this is the problem. Because, values change when we say, oh, it's someone that we know. Oh, is this person, this is the problem because of how we think. We bring up sayings like this. We make sayings like this that highlight our culture, and we use this to explain concepts in different, in different scenarios. You can use it for, whatever lesson you want to teach. But in this case, what you're basically trying to say is that don't hold people accountable because you don't know who is there that you know, and you hold them accountable and you can create enemies because you know them, then they should keep messing around. And it's the problem because you find that it's the same thing in families, in events, in church, in schools. You see people doing wrong, but because you're close to them, you just let them go. Oh, but they're my people. You see, this is the problem. And this person is, is leading a community of Christians. And inherently what you think is what you are, is what you speak. So when he's preaching, you get an insight to the kind of man he is and the way he thinks. And this is someone that's meant to preach and influence people to do better. Shame. Honestly. But yes, it's not even about these individuals. I think we've proven to ourselves as Nigerians that on our own we are great, right? We're there in Nigeria, we go out of the country, we compete in whatever thing, we stand out, fantastic. But it's not good enough. It's not good enough. And it's great to respect people and their individual talents and blah, blah, blah. Great, fantastic. If you still had these three individuals in court, they probably will not yield the results that are favorable to what you want because they exist in a web of, traps and games because it is a whole system and it's a unity of people that actually yield the results that you want in a bigger scale. Not a one-man job to go there or 3 people, we know these individuals will do well. And if they're faced with 10, 15 other, SANs and all that, what would then happen? Come on. Put what you think in the comment section below and don't forget to like and subscribe.